The Las Vegas Justice Court also utilizes technology in other areas, and some of those are by the video conferencing capabilities that we have. Many of our courts are able to hold court sessions from the jail over a video conferencing system. This alleviates the need to have corrections officers transport those individuals from the jail to the courthouse and then back again, and it enables us to handle those hearings in a much quicker fashion. We utilize those many times for our arraignments. We utilize them for traffic warrant returns. And I've even on one occasion held by video conferencing with the consent of all parties a preliminary hearing. Those are some of the things that we have in place now, and some of the areas that we're looking towards going toward to are electronic filing of court documents in our civil matters. And we'll see what the future holds, but we're really proud of what we have accomplished thus far.
Thank you, Judge Zaragoza. Judge Steinheimer, it is my understanding that you led us toward the system that our Supreme Court is now using. Do you wish to comment briefly on technology in your court?
Yes, Justice Seda, thank you. Joined with me today is Craig Frandon, my Director of Information Technology for the 2nd Judicial District Court. He's to my left. We in the 2nd Judicial District Court approximately 8 years ago identified the need to move forward and be able to view images electronically, deal with doing away with the paper filing system, and accept filings electronically. It took us quite a bit of time to move forward, upgrade our system to the point where we could accept these kind of filings. And currently we are accepting e-filings in all case types, including criminal. The district attorney is, although he's not e-filing in every case, he is e-filing, as all other case types are. We are accepting payments by credit card, both through the electronic filing system as well as in person in the courthouse. We have a web page that allows for calendaring of cases through certain case types, specifically the probate case, and we allow for video conferencing. As you've seen, we've got it here in the courtroom today, but we also have 2 sites in the courthouse that we act as sort of a regional video conferencing setup, so that when there is a conference that needs to take place between the Supreme Court or different sites in Las Vegas and Reno, we invite all the other courts from Washoe County in for those administrative meetings, and we house that and support it. The technology that you all are using at the Supreme Court is one that we were pioneering for some time before you got on it, and we're very excited that we were able to send an electronic record on appeal to you. Craig, how big was that document that we sent the first time?
Our first record on appeal was approximately 16,000 pages or 42 case volumes that we sent electronically. And I think in addition to what Judge Steinheimer has mentioned, we're also using electronic binders, PDF binders that are bookmarked in the courtroom. So we've actually not bought case files for probably a little over a year now.
Correct.
So we're trying to make efforts and efficiencies in the electronic arena in both the courtroom and for private attorneys as well as public agencies, and just trying to encompass all of the court and its associated agencies and clients.
It's been an exciting time.
Justice Perrier, I understand that you would speak to rural court technology.
Well, actually, what we're going to address here in Carson City, and I'll have Scott Oseby talk about the Nevada Court System Project, and I'll also have Tracy Lindeman, our Supreme Court clerk, talk about e-filing.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Nevada Court System is an ambitious project that's been ongoing for 8 to 9 years. And really what the primary goal of that is to give a cost-effective case management system and make that available to all the courts in Nevada that wish to use that. And for those of us that may be joining us today during the broadcast that aren't familiar with case management system, it really is the workhorse and the backbone from a technology perspective of case processing, and that's really the first application that's going to gain a lot of efficiencies into a court to grant them the ability to process cases faster and ultimately get out to a lot of the examples that Judge Zaragoza described earlier, with really saving time for the citizens and litigants and defendants when they come to do their business with the court. In addition to the case management system aspects and the efficiencies there, I think one of the big areas that kind of goes on behind the scenes, we don't see it, we don't necessarily think about it or know it's occurring, but is the information sharing initiatives that are taking place statewide between not only the courts, Department of Public Safety, law enforcement agencies, district attorneys, public defenders, corrections, the full gamut of the justice community working together to share information, which ultimately reduce costs and give more access to justice. I think one last item I would mention that's important to me is that really when we think about technologies, oftentimes that really begins to take center place, that it's about the technology, and I think today's event is a real great example of how technology can be used effectively to bring people together. But at the end of the day, it's really about the court meeting its mission, meeting its objective, and technology being a tool to meet those to meet that mission of reducing the time to process a case, bringing access to justice, and making the court's business transparent where appropriate. Those are mine.
Before we, I'm going to interrupt for a moment. Before we move away from our time online, I know that Judge Puccinelli would like to speak briefly to how technology has impacted the rural part of our state. Judge Puccinelli?
Thank you, Justice Seda. It has, and it's expanded the services that we can provide a great deal. I know that we do a lot of video arraignments here now, and I think Judge Zaragoza talked about that. We do a number of other things with it, including drug courts, and I'm going to have, but we also just use the basic telephone at times. I do a lot of case management conferences and whatnot just over the phone we use Court Call that the Supreme Court has authorized us to use, and we do a lot of business things that the district courts need to do by way of just using the telephone. But we use the telephone a lot. But I'm going to have Judge Simons talk about all the things we're doing in the juvenile court system, which is pretty phenomenal. And I'll turn it over to him for a minute.
One of the challenges that we deal with, especially in Elko County, is we have a county that's of significant geographic size. I believe it's the 7th largest county in the continental United States, and we have a large population center at the far reach of our county, about 110 miles away. We have West Wendover, and we were dealing with a problem at one time where we had a considerable population of young people in that area that were in need of juvenile drug court services. And obviously the sheer distance between Wendover and Elko posed us some difficulties in that regard. But what we did in essence was establish sort of a satellite juvenile drug court program out in Wendover, and through the use of video conference technology, we've been able to have more meaningful interaction with the participants in those locations, and we would travel on a periodic basis out to Wendover to interact with them. We've also used video conferencing to bring services to our rural area that were not readily available, and we've had, in coordination with UNLV, we brought certain mental health counseling to our area that's been completely free of charge, and we've used video conferencing to have that interaction between our participants and those counselors. And also, as mentioned before, we've used the telephonic appearances in a variety of hearings to free up to alleviate the need for constant transportation from remote areas of the state to come to our local courts.
Thank you, Judge Simon. Judge Perigary, in our remaining few seconds, could our court clerk, Tracy Lindeman, please speak to the advances technology has provided to our court?
I'll be happy to do that, and I'll be brief. Judge Steinheimer really kind of covered e-filing, and the Second Judicial District Court truly did go where no Nevada court had gone before, and we were able to follow in their footsteps. But what we offer here at the Supreme Court is actually a very similar system It's web-based. It allows for the filing of documents 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In order to have an e-filing account with our court, you actually have to be a licensed Nevada attorney. So the litigants, the actual litigants in the case, are not able to file documents, but their attorneys can. One advancement that we're very excited about is we're currently in the process of developing a new case management system. And when that goes live in September, there will actually be the ability for members of the public to access docket sheets and documents from the Supreme Court online. So we're very excited about that.